make sure this is working. Am I live? All right, looks like now I am live. All right. I need to today fill in and make some new cards because I am a little empty in stock. And I need to have a display this for next week ready. So I need to make a few more cards. So today I'm going to stamp this and color it a couple of times. Probably going to do this one a couple of times. I've already cut the panels out. And then some other options in case we have time. I'm not going to do really very detailed coloring today. No line coloring or anything. I'm just making cards. I have this stamp from Connie Fong that I really want to try out. It's new for me, so that would be a really cute Christmas card. And you can color Christmas anytime. And then I have a bunch of stamps here also. This one I mentioned before. This is a new one that I need to play with. And I know so many people I could give that to anyway. So I'm probably going to make a couple of these as well. And then if we have time, which we really won't, but if we do, I have some other new ones that I can make. That's really cute. That would be a nice card too. So we're going to see what happens. But for now, we're going to concentrate on these. And it's going to be multiple, so I'll be coloring multiple cards at once. Just doing the same thing on the cards, each of the cards, and then setting them up after. I don't know actually how much we'll be able to accomplish today, but we're just going to try and do our best. And I had a lot of problems this morning with my audio, so if at any point you're listening and you can, I'd be very appreciative if you could tell me how it's sounding now, because that was a little bit of a bear, and also why I am half an hour late than what I wanted to be. So now I'm just going to get started. I'm going to use because I'm making multiple cards, I'm going to use my stamping platform, and I use it this way and just set things up. I'm thinking maybe 3 or 4 of each, but we'll see. So these are things that are supposed to help you, actually, and they do for the most part, except what am I doing? I'll do this one first. This is just going to be a simple card. There's really not much to it. So I just need to decide which sentiment I want. We need to catch up on a latte. Hope you perk up soon. Miss you a latte. So maybe I'll do 4 of these, and I'll do 2 with that and 2 with that. So let's just see how it goes. I just need to get stuff in and done. I need to put my head in view for a second. Just to make sure that is straight. And it is. Now it is. And then we'll put the sentiment above. Little one first. And then again You'd think I could just use this computer or this camera, but I cannot. So that looks good. These stamps are new, haven't been used before, so just need to make, I don't really want to use there, actually. You, I do want. The days when all the things just go right all the time. That's today, apparently. So, let's see. Use my favorite black ink. Oh, I didn't season the stamp first, but hopefully that'll be okay. We'll see. Yep. There we go. So we're going to do 2 with this one, and then we'll change out the sentiment and oops. 2 with the other sentiment. You know, I've been doing this for just so many years now, and I'm really just not used to talking while I'm doing it. I usually am watching somebody else stream or a YouTube video or TV show, Netflix, sometimes music. Yeah, this one is preventing that stamp. So now I will change out the sentiment. I need to not shake the microphone, which is annoyingly close to my head. All right. Clean this off. Take it off, switch it out. So we'll miss you. Instead, we were going to put, what were we going to put? We need to catch up on a latte. And since we already have the other one, the stamp in there, we're going to kind of have to guess a bit. By doing it kind of like this and then adjusting as needed. So actually that is not too bad. And except it fell down. I just want to make sure that it's even. Slightly tilted. That is a little bit higher. So just loosen it a bit and then use the grid marks that are on the tool to even it out. That should be better. Okay. I was not around last week because after 2 solid years of avoiding it, we got hit with COVID. I was not a fan. Really, once it got into the schools, like, there's just no avoiding it whatsoever. But my kids started feeling sick on a Saturday night. I started feeling sick on Sunday night. My husband has felt sick for some weeks now, so not really sure what's going on with him. But he keeps testing negative, so I don't know. But yeah, so we were down and out all week. The kid was home from school for a week. I did not do any streaming. I did not do really much of anything. I slept a lot, which was kind of good. But we basically just felt like a cold. But we were doing so good avoiding it and being so careful and just not taking risks. And then some extended family came into the house with it, and we thought for sure we were going to get it from there. And I guess it's still a possibility that's where we got it from. But somebody in my son's class the week before he was sick was positive. So it's either one or the other. Can't really do anything about it now, but we were really careful for a really long time. I don't think we even went out the first year. Definitely not socially. There was many months that we even had our groceries delivered just because it was during the most dangerous, when it was still brand new and people were still dying a lot. So we finally got taken out. It was due, as I said, once it hit the schools. There was no avoiding it, at least for us. And then my bestie also got it at the same time, so we were both miserable. I haven't seen her in since the Saturday before last. So that has been a thing too. I'm mostly better. I still have a little congestion in the sinus area. Today I seem to have a headache as well. But I generally feel better, functional, even if I don't sound all that great. So I'm going to take that out for this, and it's going to snap loud. So for this one, I'm going to use this bottom flower. I already have and pulled some colors that I want to use, and I'm just going to make, I guess I can do 4 for this one too. Just so there's something in stock and something new on my shop, because I haven't added anything new in a really long time. So just put that like that. And then let's see. I love how much you care for those you love, which is really sweet. And then I would need to change it like this to put that there. I could do that actually. I think that is a really sweet sentiment, so I'm going to use that one. Make 2 of them vertical, 2 horizontal. And I think I'm going to heat emboss this in like a gold or platinum, which is my favorite embossing. And yeah, so it'll be nice shiny gold something. Okay, but I'll do that after the fact. But if I am going to do that after the fact, I shouldn't stamp it now. So, yeah, forget that. I'll do it after this is colored, but I will stamp it like this so that I have... Do I want this? What does this stamp look like? Yeah, that'll look fine. Yeah. What this tool does is let you put the stamps in the exact same places. You can just continuously stamp on new pieces, so everything is always precisely where you want it to be, as long as you have your paper set up. And again, I'm not going to do any super detailed coloring with this. I'm just going to do like a very basic oops. Okay. I think I might have put too much tape on these because it's blocking some of the stamps. One, I'll do another one this way and then flip them. Actually, even need this one. So again, we'll stamp the sentiment on that after. And now that this one is facing this way, I need the card to be this way. And then it will sit on the side of the card. Like that. And then the sentiment. I think I'm just going to put thinking of you. Like that. Very simple. And can be used for a number of different reasons. Just going to lightly press down so I know exactly where the stamp will be. And that's why this tool is so good, because when I go back over, it'll still be in the exact same place. Theoretically. The way my day's been going, who knows? So I want this about in the middle. This is 4 1/4, so it'll sit about 2 2 1/4, like that. And it is even. Make that adhere, let go of the paper. That will always happen because the stamp is dry and sticky. Use this one here. Just keep it down. So I'll stamp everything. And then I think we're just going to do the poppies after. And I am aiming to really be done with all of them, coloring wise at least, even if we don't mount them, and put them on a cardstock. That's one. Need another one. I want that to be done today. So I am really not doing intricate. I have a problem because I get too involved and I get too like tunnel vision when I'm doing this stuff. And I always want everything to be the best. And I'm a little bit of a perfectionist that way. So I'm going to do this one again. I'm hoping to rein myself in and have some self-control. But it is me we're talking about, so we'll see. We'll see if we get it done. Okay. So that's that. I'll pull this back out. Later for the sentiments on the other things. Just give this a quick wash. This is a controversial thing. Some people don't wash their stamps. Other people do. And I tend to like them because I don't like that if I was going to use this stamp in the future for no line coloring, it would have all black all over it, and I'd have to spend the time to clean it, and since it's already mounted, it's just much easier to do it now. And that was just a stamp like cleaner and conditioner that I sprayed on the cloth. Okay. Oops, sorry. This boom mic is just so in my way. Okay. This back on. The beauty of stamps is that you can just go anywhere. You can use them for any occasion, change them, and reuse them. So they're, for me, a really good investment since I don't really draw that well. I'm trying to learn, but it takes time. The thing is also that I could be a professional student. I just love taking classes, and then when I get into something, I go all in. I like this with the sentiment as it is here, and then that there. I don't think I'm going to use the banner. No, not right now. Maybe the next time I want to play with this stamp, I'll do it that way. But right now, no. And hello, beautiful. See if that is straight. You know what? There's a lot of white space up here at the top. So I'm just going to slide this up a bit, even it out. And then make this on straight. Okay. Tuck it in the corners. Rub this so that it's a little seasoned. Now, since I haven't used it before, they all come with like a coating on them, and you kind of need to rough it up a bit. You can also use something like an eraser. Just I tend to just use my hands though, because then you're not really surprised with any leftover eraser nib things, pieces. Just pressing down, trying to get even pressure. This one is just too thick, and it's preventing me from stamping properly. So I'm just going to have to struggle with it, and I'll add another piece of tape on it like this so it's easier to grab later. There we go. I'm not. It does look. It's even. Okay. Looks a little weird to me, but I think it's just the placement. So this one I'm only going to do 2 of, because I'm going to attempt to be somewhat realistic. We both know that's not going to happen, but I actually would like to get these done today. And I have about 2.5 hours to do it. So, let's see. Yeah, that's good. Clean, clean. Get that out of the way. That over there. Any questions? Oof. I have to remember to take pictures of these too, because I bought these from the place that I am on the design team for, and these can be inspiration for other people. And these are going to fall, so they're going to take a trip. All right. This will come out later, or maybe that I have a smaller one that might come out. And then we have 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these. And also 4 of these. And we're supposed to do that today. Oh my god, I'm so funny sometimes. All right, I'm going to start with these 2. These I'm going to color the same, even though the sentiments would be different. But I'm going to start with these 2. I've already picked out the colors for these because they're just poppies, and I did not pull out the greens. Poppies have a very distinct color, so there's not like, I could get all artsy on it, but I just want them to look like poppies. So I picked those colors. I don't actually know what the greenery is for that. So I think I'm going to go kind of darker. Maybe I should just look it up really quick. It really doesn't matter so much, but remember that part when I said I was a little bit of a perfectionist? That might be coming to, you might be able to see that. Okay. So wild poppies, just in the wild. Show me images, Google. Okay, I'm getting mixed results. Some are really light, some are really dark. So you know what that means. It really doesn't matter. So I'll just go with a basic default favorite green. And take it from there. Go 3. And then for the leaves on the magnolia, the colors of those. Oh, those are really deep. So I'll pick a different green for that one. One that is deeper. And then hopefully I won't get them confused, but there's a really good chance I will. 46. Okay, those go together. And then Y geometry. They both have the same highlight. Okay, so this is what I'm using for the there we go. Was it so out of focus before? This is what we're using for these magnolias. And then this is what we're going to use for the poppies. So we'll do leaves after, flowers first. And these aren't going to have a huge highlight because they just don't. And focus. So I'm going to color both at the same time, and usually what I do is just use the one color, and because it's going to be open for a long time, I'm going to take both caps off. And then I'm going to go through and add the shadows, and then the shadows again are anywhere there's going to be overlapping. And because I have so much to do today, I don't want to be really precise with it. I just kind of want to get it on. And I could just hear my friend in my head there giving me a that's what she said. Okay. So I want you to be able to see that there are different layers and different petals. But that's really it. So there'll be a shadow there, shadow all in here. And I'm going for speed more than anything else, so it'll be a little bit from the bottom as well. So I'm not really too precise. I actually should put a shadow behind there. Do the same here. And then these are kind of transparent, but I'm not going to show them as that way. there's just going to be solid color, not solid color, but it's just going to be a lot of color. And then shadow behind here, over there, over here, over there, and 2 more flowers. Very easy. And 1 more here. I'll go around each of the petals and around this center stamen. And because this one is so open, I'm gonna just extend that a little bit more. And then let me see. Buds are green. Okay, so I think that is a bud. And I'm looking at the picture of the poppies. They're all green, and this is green too. So these 2 pieces are buds, and they will also be green. So I'm just going to do the same over here really quick. Speed over anything else today. They're still going to look good, just not going to be as detailed. And as much as I'd like to be a perfectionist, like these are cards. And while I know a lot of people save cards, not everyone does. So I'm not going to put in the same kind of effort by default for something that's just going to be recycled. So again, having to be a little realistic. Shadow here. How's the volume on the mic? Is it okay? I had troubles this morning, so I think I got them fixed. I think OBS just kind of threw its hands up and said, forget it. Oh, there's a little bit of leaves here, so shadow behind leaves. Oh, see, this is the kind of nitpicky stuff I get in. But I did it on one, so now I have to do it on the other. But it's going to be blended out, so it's no big deal. But let's see how quickly. Oh, missed there too. Okay. Where the shadow is here. All right. So that is done for both cards. And then we'll go to the mid-range and just fill it out. And we're going to use this a lot because there's not really poppies don't kind of highlight the same way other flowers do and have a lot of areas of like white. They just are red. They do have some, so I'm leaving just little bits here up at the top. But not as much as I normally would for any other kind of flower color. But I am going to take that off so it doesn't bleed, and then just fly through really quick. Get these blended out. Feel free to ask any questions if you have them. I don't look up very often, but answering questions would be better than sitting here talking to myself. I could sing, but then you'll never come back. So, no singing. Yeah, not too bad. It'll do. So this weekend or Friday, we're dropping a lot of prints, art prints off, and my card display at Perguro Spaces in Oslo. There will be like a week plus long a pop-up store, I guess it would be called, display. So I've been working yesterday to get all of that, all of the print stuff done for any watercolor pieces. And then I needed to finish this for today. I have a lot of cards. I just don't have a lot of every kind of card. And I'm missing just some like basic, hey, just thought about you, popped in my head kind of stuff. So that's why I am doing this now. And I'm doing so many because I'm actually hoping to stream again tomorrow. And I would like that to be whatever I realize I am still missing once I go through stuff and once these are done. So that is the plan. Tomorrow might be later in the day though, because I do have some supplies I need to go and pick up for this market, and I also need some food and things because we have not been out of the house for a week. Thankfully we have a pretty good sized freezer downstairs, but will only carry you for so long. And chicken is on sale. I love when chicken is on sale. Buy it in these big packs and then break them up into what the I hate when I lose words, and I lose them so often now. That thing where you put it in a bag and put it in the machine and it takes all the air out. That's what, there's a word for that. It's not dehydrator, which is what I have stuck in my head. It is, what is it called? Help me out. It is not a dehydrator. What is it called? I'm gonna have to look this up, aren't I? All right, I need to Google. Hold on. What on earth? How can I be so stupid sometimes? Um, a food vacuum sealer. That's what it is. And I Googled suck the air out to freeze because that's what made sense to me. And it gave me the answer, so apparently I wasn't too far off. Right? Right. So, yeah, buy lots of chicken and then vacuum seal them, put them in the freezer, and when we have weeks like last week when we didn't leave the house and couldn't leave the house, we did not have to worry about starving. Plus, we like to eat a lot of hot, spicy food, and we have a lot of chicken sauces. A lot of hot sauces that are for chicken wings, and but I don't eat chicken wings, chicken fingers. So, always good to have them on hand. Not doing too bad with this one at all, huh? I'm actually a little impressed with myself, I gotta say. It's a little bothering to just go through it so quickly and so messily, but I'm doing it nonetheless. So yeah, we have to go down on Friday and drop this stuff off and set stuff up. Um, and then come back so I can get my child from school. Friday is early day. Uh, and school hours are done differently here than I'm used to or than I experienced in the US. So they have like a floating schedule. Like Monday and Wednesday are the short Monday, Wednesday, Friday are short days, and it's probably just because of the grade he's in. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday they get out at like 12:30, I think. And then Tuesday and Thursday are the long days. And they're there until 2 something, which would be like a normal school day from my previous experience. You know, get to school around 7 somewhere between 7:30 and 8, and you're there until 2:30, 3 o'clock. But then he also does after school things, so that is good for him to be able to play with friends. So he comes home at 4, but not on Fridays. He only comes home on 4 Monday through Thursday. Friday, he gets out at 12:30, and he either goes and plays with my friends' kids, and or he comes home and he plays video games or watches YouTube Kids. Unless I can find something really fun and exciting for him to do. The other day we made cupcakes, but those are all gone. So, yeah, all done. Okay. I'm really pretty impressed with myself, just have to say. I'm really not comfortable. I don't usually color this messy, or I don't even, unprecise, messy. But I'm not doing too bad. I'm not disliking how it looks either. And the highlight is not really much of a highlight. It's still in the same color family and it blends pretty well. So it's just a tiny hint. This is all going to be one highlight there. And then the center, we'll have to go through and see if we can get some yellow in there, and then black, darken up the rest. I'm dreadfully behind on water intake for the day, and I am starting to feel it. I think before I move on to the next card, I need to rectify that. All right. How's that look? Decent? Need some water. I'm still at 7 o'clock on the bottle that tells me how often I should be drinking. Okay. I'm gonna have to do that again really soon. Super thirsty, but can't just sit there listening to me drink water all the time. Pardon. So we'll do the same thing with the leaves and just have them. This one is the easier of the two with just 3 colors. And I'll just put in the shadows where they're supposed to be, blend them out with the mid-tone, and add the highlight. That should be pretty quick. Oh, look at that. I missed a whole petal. Were you just sitting there screaming at me? You missed one. I did. Missed the whole thing. Okay, shadow. Midtone. Next time, tell me. Oh, gee, sorry. This is what it's usually like for me. I just kind of zone out, and I just went into a thing in my head. Oh, what's for dinner tonight? I don't know what to make. I made Indian food the other day. It came out really good, and we have a lot left over, so I'm thinking we'll just have that. Last night I made chicken peanut satay wraps, and I should probably have some fish soon, but we need to eat the leftovers too. So that little debate was what was happening in the silence. All right, those two are done. Did I miss anything else? Oh, probably, but we'll find them later. So now, dark color shadows are going to be all where things show up behind, and again, this is going to be just real quick with not too much detail, just basic coloring. Basic coloring meaning shadow, highlight, and midtone. But not gonna go too crazy. And by crazy, I mean detailed, specific. Usually I have a lot more care, but it's sheer quantity. I can only bend myself so many ways, you know. That's what she said. No, sorry. Apparently my friend is bad influence. Just going to add a little bit of color in there. Yep. Oh. This one, same thing. Speed coloring 101. Okay. Now I'm just blending that the darkest color out, leaving space for highlight color. Just will be like around the edges, and it makes it look more natural when you have a lot of variation in color, because there are very few things, if any at all, that are just one solid block of color. And nature, in case you haven't noticed, is a little chaotic. Things typically don't come in nice straight lines. So speed coloring for something like this is actually quite nice, because it just changes up the color, and it does it in a way that's more natural. It's never like, 2 millimeters from the edge is there a color change. It just is. It just happens, and it gives variation. And variation gives reality. Even though this isn't like a proper picture of a real 3D object image. It's an image of one, but it's just a flat. It's not 3D. But you can fool the eye by always making sure that there are shadows, midtones, and highlights. And I'm just blending as I go. So it transitions from one color to another fairly seamlessly. Not always 100% blended either, because as I said, nature is pretty chaotic. There's no rules, except when you go out of the lines like that. I can hide that a bit. Okay, and then now I have to be a little bit careful because I don't have a lot of room, and everything is like an edge. With this color, it's all along the edge. And I want to stay in the lines. So while I'm not being precise per se in how well things are blended, or what color meets what color where. I do want to be precise in where I place it. How are we doing for time? 11:40. So it's actually not too bad. We've got everything stamped and almost 2 cards finished in an hour ish. I'm doing really good, actually. There's still no way in hell that we're gonna finish everything, but that would be the nice goal. That's the if I could win the lottery, kind of, I would be done with everything. That's not gonna happen. But we're gonna try. Maybe we'll even succeed. Who knows? Could be an optimist too. So that's that. And we just have the centers after this one. I'm gonna put some yellow, probably more like an orangey yellow, and touch it up with some really dark gray. Oh, I missed the mid-tone over here completely. That's okay. Nature, chaos, it all works. I think my husband is not feeling well, as I said earlier. He's home driving the couch, that he's how he puts it, and he's watching a movie, and it has to be some kind of war film or something, type film, because all I can hear and feel are big explosions and people yelling. And this is through the door and on a different floor. So some maybe like Saving Private Ryan ish type film. Probably something on Netflix. I don't know if you noticed this, but if you have a lot of different profiles on Netflix, like I have mine, he has his, kid has his, and then we have like a kind of generic default one for the TV in the living room, and the recommendations change so drastically, based on those profiles. Let's see. I'm going to use this for just the center. Put a little bit here. Just a tad. And then we'll fill in the rest with just a darker gray so you can still see the black pieces. But what gray do I want? That's the question. I think like a 6 maybe. I'm going to try a 6, and then if I need to, I can always go in darker later. No, I think that actually will do. Good. It looks dark like it's supposed to, but you can still see the separate stamen. Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah. Very nice. And we are done. And that's what those are going to be. And we'll mount them if we have time later. Probably not. But nice, cute highlights, shadows, all the things. All right. Now these are going to be the same color, even though the sentiment will be different. So I'm going to do 4 at the same time with this. These are the colors that I am going to use. Because they're magnolias, a lot of the brighter color, these pinks are going to be on the outside of the leaves. And then there's going to be like a creamy color on the inside. So I kind of have to play around and guess where there's outside versus inside. And so these are outside leaves here, inside. I think what I'm going to do, things that are outside, I'm going to do this a little backwards. I am going to take my lightest pink, and for things that I know should be pink, I'm going to just color them, and then I can go in after and add the shadows. That way I don't get too confused, because where the outside of the petal is a different color completely than the inside, it's very, very easy to get confused. So that's like an inside there. I think that's an outside. That's an inside. This is an outside. That's outside. This one here is outside, and then that's inside. In. These are buds, and buds will just all be outside. Just so I can kind of stay on track. It doesn't have to be so precise, but I also want it to make sense. And it's not actually going to take me too long once I do it on one of them. So I think there should probably, this is a fold, but I really can't tell what is happening there. So I am just going to, I'm going to make it all pink, because that'll be a lot of cream. So make that pink, make that cream. This one, this is outside, that's inside. In. This is outside here. And I think that's it. So I'll just do the same thing on all of them, so I know what I'm doing where, and so that they are the same. Just to kind of give me a little cheat sheet, so I don't have to guess. And the reason why, because there's multiple flowers here. It's not just one, there's 3. So Me too. Oh, see, would have got nailed there. You need to figure out which petals go to which flower. Oh, I painted that in. I shouldn't have. This, 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 this. Okay. Here. Okay. Here, 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 here. Inside, inside, oops, outside. There. And here. And this one. And here. Is that everything? Nope. Is that everything? There. Yes. Okay. One more. There, 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 there. Here. I actually think that this one needs to be all pink. Looks like it belongs to this flower. So I need to go change that on the other ones. Yeah. Which one was it? This one. We'll go back and add some detail and shadows and all that after. But I think that's good. So now I'm going to ignore the pink ones and I'm going to work just on the inside. And this is going to be really light and not too much contrast. Because it's cream, so you don't actually want to see too much of it. But the shadows will be, again, where there is overlapping. How did I miss that? But I did. Where there are overlapping petals. and speed over details. So ugh, I cannot wake up today. So sorry. Okay, I think that is everything. And we'll do the center. Some kind of yellow and pink mix. Yeah, we'll do that after. So call that one done, and if I made any mistakes, I'll fix them when I go back. And then just go through the colors one at a time. So husband caved today. He is absolutely not a fan. We have streaming services. We have Netflix. I don't know if we have any others because that's really all I watch, but he caved today and signed up for Disney Plus. And I haven't been able to ask him why, because he was really adamant about not getting it before. So I'm not exactly sure what happened to change his mind. But I got some sign-in information from him. I was like, what? I didn't, what am I doing? So now he has kept up with the Joneses and we have Disney Plus, I think. But I'm really curious as to why, because he really did not want to keep up with so many. I don't really blame him at all. Uh, there's a reel or a TikTok or something I think my friend sent me, like with all these streaming services. If you had just paid for cable, which we also have, you would you'd be saving money. And that is true. There's just so many now. So many that I don't actually know what they are. But, you know, we love like all the Marvel movies, and if you want to see any of those, you need to have it. So, on one hand, I'm really excited because I'll get to finally see Loki show. And the other hand, I'm like, oh, I hate that we caved. I'm not going to tell him that, of course, but I do feel a little. I think everyone is just hopping on the bandwagon And yeah, maybe this is just how things are evolving, but how many streaming services do you really need? I don't know. Probably far less than what we have. All right, with this color, I want more highlight than anything else. So all I'm doing is going over where I've put the shadow and just blending it really sloppily, because I want to have more highlight than anything else on the inside. So it's more whitish, really light cream. So really quick and dirty. Where did that saying ever came up for? Quick and dirty. Why is that a saying? I'll just show you on this one, because I'm going to push the highlight down so it meets the midtone and blends really, really well. So we'll mute a little bit of it, but when it dries, it probably looks kind of dark now, but when it dries, it will lighten up nicely and you'll still be able to see everything. But it's wet now. I want more highlight than anything. Within reason, of course. All right. Move that over. When that dries, it'll look lighter. And now, in, just going to go through, go over what I've already done and just a little bit further out. I want to preserve a lot of the space for the highlight and give it a good base to blend into. I don't think I'm actually doing too bad at all with this messy coloring. So not my style. Not usually what I do. But maybe I don't have to be so crazy picky. Look at me growing. Yay. Did that. Did that. Yeah. Moving on. When I make cards, my rule of thumb always before was 4 of each one. And I would take 2 with me whenever I did markets, in case one sold or you wanted to buy 2 of the same one. And now I just had so many cards for not so long, but I make more than I sell. And it's my own fault because I don't take the pictures and do the write-ups and all of that stuff and put them out to sell. Absolutely my own fault. So most of the cards that people get for me, they kind of stumble upon. And then when I'm like, oh yeah, I should have taken a picture of that card, it's gone. So I need to get better. I just really kind of dislike doing that aspect of it. I want like a 14-year-old to come and do my social media for me in all forms. So if you have a kid that's interested, please send them my way. It's probably the one place I'm lacking most. And then a lot of cards don't change on the website. And other cards, I make them, I forget to take pictures, and then they're gone. I probably won't make them again. But they're nice, and I should make them again. So just blending out the shadow on the inside of these magnolia leaves. And that was the mid-tone, and now the highlight. And it is again going to look dark. That has lightened up a bit. It's still a little wet, but once we add the the shadows and mid-tone on the colored petals, it'll really even out. And I'm just going to push into the mid-tone and shadow with this highlight color. Oh, I made a mistake there, and then there should have been a shadow. But I'm not going backwards. Speed today, remember? Challenging ourselves. Speed. I think my dog is really sad she's not in the room today. And I think she really wants to be. Keep hearing her outside. So been blending the highlight into the other colors. To left. We are doing so good. I'm just watching. I think actually if I could just sit and watch people do this, I would too. Who are you kidding? I do watch people sit and do this. They usually have much funnier things to say than me though. So I need to up my banter 101. But they also talk to people, so if you want to start writing, then I can talk back. When I look up. Okay. Almost done, and good thing because it sounded like I need to add some ink to this marker. Okay, there. All done? No, one more. Oh. think this tip has had it used a lot. I'm not even sure I can say I remember when I changed it on this marker last time. And I do use this color a decent amount. So time for a new one. It's just all too bendy. Okay, that is the inside. That is now. We're going to add in some highlights, some shadows, and some kind of stripes, and go with the color of the petal, the flow direction of the petal. So let me see. For first, we're just gonna go with the darkest color and do shadows, and it is bright pink, and anything that is sitting on top of something will have a shadow. And then we'll just make a few lines there. I don't want to put too much on the smaller ones. I want a little bit, but not too much. So I'll probably just do where that meets, maybe a little at the bottom. This one can have more. It's bigger. This one too. Okay. Shadow, speed coloring. That's what we're doing. Speed. Challenge. Take some from the top there. Shadow. Gonna go on the outside there. Add a little bit there. Shadow there. Follow the line from the top. A little bit, a little bit. I'm going to add a deeper one there. And this is outside. Go from the bottom there. Shadow there. And then I will blend it out with this one and then go over it again with the highlight color, which will make it a little bit darker, and will actually help a bit. But we're going to do it quickly, quickly. Did I get everything? It's going to stay light. That's going to stay light because it has so much dark around it. Blend it just a little bit more. Okay. Well, I'm just doing, I guess, this one. And finishing it for the pinks. And then blend out that mid-tone with this lighter color. Give it a highlight. Go over this. Blend that. Blend this. That. What on earth is that? I think it's pink, right? Yeah. Give that another swipe of color. That there too. That there. This one. That one. There we go. And now, with this one, what I'm going to do is with this mid-tone pink, just going to come in here and add little hints of color. Not really shadows, but more like small stripes. Just where the artist that has drawn this has given indications of where there would be like a normal shadow. And where that is, I am going to just add a bit of pink to tie it together. And that's that. And then I'll go back in, maybe add some pink in here and some yellow, finish the leaves, greenery. And this card will be done. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Oh, what a break. I'm only at the 9 o'clock mark. This is not good. This does not bode well for me today. All right, going back in, the shadows. Speedily, speed coloring, right. I'm not taking my time. I'm going fast. I just need to remember that. Where else here? Okay. Shadow, shadow everywhere. Did I get it on? Did I miss it? Wait. And then last but not least, messy coloring. It's kind of freeing in a way, by not caring. But it's very, very alien. I think I've colored this fast a really long time. I think it's almost lunchtime, isn't it? Yeah. 12:30 here ish. Okay. Shadows, mid-tone, and just going over and blending really messy. Could just do the touch of pink inside the leaves with this now, but I actually just like to, when I'm working on cards like this is kind of like assembly line style, I like to stay with one piece at a time. So blending all of this darker pink on everything, and then adding the pink in here like we did on the first card is just another step after. Okay. Blend, blend, blend. I went out of the lines there. See about fixing that after. Oh, just crashed there too. But fix mistakes later. I think my husband might be sleeping because I don't hear any movie sounds coming now. He's really not feeling good, so it's good for him. He let me sleep when I was sick this week. Okay, stop. Stop, stop, stop. Speed coloring. Constant reminder. I'm so bad. Oh, maybe I should take a nap today. I don't really have time to take a nap, but boy, would I really like to. Maybe I'll skip lunch and have sleep. Sleep instead. Okay. All right, mid. And now it's going to go over everything. The highlight. Blend that down nice and smooth. And depending on if we think there's enough contrast, once the main part of the flowers are done and can like kind of take a step back, we might go back in and adjust. What? I don't know. Depends on what we think it needs. All right. This, didn't I just do this one? No. Just did that one. I'm wondering if I'm running out of color. Yes, that could explain a lot. I'm just gonna refill this 1 second. Okay. All right. This will probably help and speed up the color. I'm not going to clean. I'm just going to refill because speed coloring. We still have a little bit of time. We still have 4 more cards. Okay. Don't spill that because that would be horrible. Let this just kind of balance a little bit. Put this away. And what else was I thinking? I did have something fly through this little brain of mine. But I don't remember what it was. So now try this one again. Oh. Definitely needs to change out this nib, but the next time I clean all of my markers. I will do it then. There's barely any structure left to it. Super soft and mushy. And you can't really get a lot of good control. Granted, this is not what we need the control for, it's speed coloring, but for more detailed or more specific kinds, you do need fine control. Did that, did that, did that, did that. This one. Okay. It's a really nice sunny day. I don't know what the temperature is. 6 degrees Celsius. So decently warm also. Spring is on its way. My son heard the birds this morning. Got all excited because the birds have started singing a lot again. I very much like the birds as well. Outside of my office window, I have a big, tall feeder stand with 4 different feeders on it so that I can look at the birds. I used to have them outside my kitchen window, but then my neighbors got 4 dogs. And I'm not slamming anyone for having 4 dogs. I had 4 dogs for a long, long time. But they try and sneak underneath the bushes so that they can get the food and the birds, and so I had to move them. So now they're back in my office, but usually I'm like looking down at this, so I don't really get to see them as much as I used to. All right, so that is the last one. Now I'm going to go back in with that mid-tone on the centers like I did here. And just where I think could use some pink to tie together is where I'm going to add in some splashes of color. And it's going to dry lighter anyway. But it ties it back, ties it all in together. And then we'll evaluate again. And see what, if there's anything I don't like, I like, needs more of. Just by going through these here, I think I would like to take my colorless blender and lighten up the tip of these inside leaves a little bit more than they are, because it's looking more like tan than cream, and I don't want that. I wanted cream. Okay. So that will lighten it up a little bit, and I don't want to do too much because I don't want to get rid of a lot of the contrast, but just here where there's supposed to be more of a highlight, I'm just going to go over really quick with the colorless blender and lighten those areas up a bit. And it's going to look darker for a bit because it's wet. But when it dries, it'll dry quickly because it's alcohol. It should be just a little bit lighter. Yeah. Okay. Let that dry and see where we are again. And I need to fix this mistake I made right there. And that mistake there. But because I'm trying to remove color or lighten what is there, I can use that on the mistakes too. I'm not taking away any pink. Just making the highlight a little bit brighter on these petals here. Jeez, I made so many mistakes. Messy coloring, that's why. You don't usually have to do this. Let that dry. So also blend in the pink a little bit more because just the tops are being hit by this marker. So it'll be more like a fading out effect. This one is mostly in shadow here, but I do want some highlights on the side to kind of peek out. And I'm not sure if you'd actually be able to see the change. I know you can see it getting darker, but I don't know about getting lighter. But I can see it. And cards aren't like on a wall, so where you have a lot of distance. I mean, this is like the normal height that you'd see a card if you were writing in it. So I want it to look good from here. Whereas wall art or bigger pictures need to look good more from afar. And that is pretty much doing what I want it to do. I'm not trying to take away all the color, I'm just brightening up that highlight a bit more and softening the blend of them. Can't forget my little in shadow color petal here, just on the sides. Okay. So that did what I wanted it to do. All right, now we're going with green. And I think I used the wrong greens on the other one. But you know what? I'm just going to use them here too, because why not? It's really not going to matter too much because there's not a lot. There's not a lot of green actually in this photo at all. Photo stamp. I can English, I can. So just taking the darkest, and this one I'll just do all three because it's not actually that much coloring at all. Blend out with the lighter. Just adding subtle variations of color. So it's not a flat green. And I need to be careful, even though I'm speed coloring, so I don't go out of lines. Go over everything with the highlight color to blend. And we're done. And it looks, let's see if I can get any closer. There we go. So just slight variations, and you can see all the mistakes I made too, so don't look too close. I'll just go through all three, all four. I can number too. Dark, 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 dark. I forgot right here. And then medium. I'm going a little bit slower because I don't want to clean up as many mistakes as I have to on the other one. Blending that out a bit. It's so small. Nobody is going to notice this. I could paint this, color this just with one color, and you really wouldn't be able to tell, but I would be able to tell. Okay. One of these times I'm going to have to clean all my markers too. Maybe we can have like a Q&A. You can see how I do that. And then I can answer questions. So I don't have to talk about marker maintenance the entire time. So I don't think anybody was really interested in that at all. Only so much detail you can put in these really tiny, small places. You can really just do what I'm doing and varying the color slightly, so it looks more kind of realistic. But nobody at all is going to be noticing the stems on this. Last one, blending out shadows. I'm going to put blending in air quotes because, again, size of the image. I noticed pink here. Now, for all the mistakes I made, I'm going to go through with the colorless blender along the edges and just soften them out a little bit. It's not going to remove everything, but it will just make it a little bit cleaner. This is that perfectionist part of me that I spoke about earlier. I really do want everything to look really good. And I think it's worth it to spend, it's just such a small amount of time. I mean, I didn't make that many mistakes, thankfully, but I think it just looks cleaner when they are fixed. And then I also feel better about the card. Nobody would ever notice, maybe another artist, but nobody would see the things that I see. But I just can't let it go. Have to do it. On a resume, that would be attention to detail and a good thing. Okay. Here we go. Now, I am thinking that I want to go in with another layer of mid-tone on the inside of these flowers. And it's the same color, so it won't, I'm not going in as heavy. Yeah, it's the same color, so it won't like brighten it up or anything. I think it'll darken it a bit and tie it in a little bit better. And if you look at the two, you can see, I think, what I'm talking about. Just adds just a little bit more contrast in the center, and I like that much better than this. So, but speed coloring, and this is not something that needs to be so detailed. And then we just have the center. And it's done. So much better, don't you think? Honestly, there's a big difference between them. So I think I definitely made the right choice there. And I'm just going over where like the artist has drawn lines to indicate movement or shadow or just a, you know, a kind of flow to the flower. Yeah, that's good. Excellent. Okay. So now these two are done. These two, we're going to add the sentiment on and heat emboss. So I'm going to use my small stamping tool instead. This in does the same thing as the big one, just not as much room. And I need the stamp. What did I say I was going to use? I think I love how much you care for those you love. It's just really nice on this one, the way that it's colored. So I'm just going to pop that in here. I want, before, I'm going to take that off so I can see kind of where I want it. I think to make this even. There. This is where it needs to be. And then what I'm doing is just, there's some grid marks on here that you can see, kind of see. You can see here. And I'm just lining this up. This is really not straight at all. So I am just taking a peek. And micro adjusting. Because perfectionist. And I think that think that is good. So put that where it needs to be. How much room do I have? I can put that here. Won't interfere with the stamp. And now, if you've never seen embossing, this is just a pocket of embossing powder. So none of the grains of embossing will kind of stick anywhere else. And then I don't know if I've used this before, so I'm just going to rush it up a little bit, rough it so that it takes the ink better. And I'm going to use clear ink that's made for this stamp. Take a little peek of it. I think I'm just gonna do a light one again. Yeah, you can't see that really. See, I guess the shiny part. Now I have a blank piece of paper. Well, not blank, but and what I'll do is put this in here and take the embossing powder, spread it over, shake it a little bit, top it off, lightly tap, and you're gonna laugh because my perfectionist is coming out. There are tiny, tiny grains of embossing powder, just a few, in places that I do not want them. And if I heat them, they'll stay there, and then you'll have these spots. And I cannot allow that to happen. So there, that's perfect. And I'll do the same thing with the other one. Just move that aside, add the card in. I already know it's going to be exactly where I need it to be. Get my embossing pillow. If I did not use this, there'd be a lot more to take off after. So that is why I use it. Stamp once, nice and solid, press down pretty evenly. Lightly take up, and yep, looks good. Just lightly stamp another time so it just gets a little bit more wet and fills in anything that was missed that I couldn't see because it's clear, so can't really see it. Bring this back over, cover, shake, tap, and then detail. I'll never not be able to do this part because it just looks so messy. If you have these little pieces of melted plastic where there shouldn't be. And maybe I can do messy coloring. I cannot do messy embossing. This is the thing that makes it look professional and well done. What I'm doing now is just using a tiny pointy thing to clear out some pieces that the brush can't reach, and I just want to touch them and then blow them away. And yes, I am that anal all the time, but with this you can just use this over and over and over again. So take this and dump it into a container. This is my favorite one. It just looks so classy. Platinum is called. Okay, that. Still have to clean, but not nearly as much. Did you know there was so much to card making? These are actually really pretty simple cards too. Okay, put that over there for now. And now I'm going to mute you because I'm going to turn on the heat gun and I don't want to blow away your ears. So I shall return momentarily. Okay. And then you have a nice, shiny, cute sentiment. Let those cool a little bit. And what is next? These are all done. All done. I'm not going to do anything with these. I'm going to mount them on a card base. And maybe I might add a thin pink border around. Maybe. These are going to keep exactly how they are. Oh, wait. Nope. Stop. Forgot the centers. Okay, so I want like a lemony yellow kind of color. And I think I want a bit of pink. I think I do. I'm going to use the darker of the pinks that I used. And I'm just going to, I'm looking at this, at a picture on my computer. And I'm just going to lightly go around like this with the pink. And then I'm going to go in with the lemony yellow and kind of blend those two together. And I'm just tapping. I'm not swiping. I could swipe, I guess, but this is just the way I like to do it. And we are all creatures of habit, so this is how I do centers. Add some yellow. Make sure that I have yellow and pink together. And then good beans. So just really quick. And then yellow. And now these cards are done. Not actually going over the pink too much. I mean, pink and yellow is kind of orange, and I still want it to be pink, so I'm just touching lightly on that, on the outsides of where the pink is laying to blend it, but not like mix it. I don't want there to be a harsh line between the yellow and the pink, but I also don't want it to be orange. A little orange is okay. Variation, nature, chaos, etc. Okay, and now they are done. So maybe we'll mount those later. 1 o'clock. And I've got about 20-ish minutes. So these can be very simple, but they're not going to be. So I think I'm just going to color one of them. And I'll just do the rest offline. So I was right that we weren't going to finish, but I actually, we're doing so good. I think I want to keep this red color for this cup. Do I want the cup? Do I want the koozie? I don't know. We'll figure it out. And I'm going to keep the pink color also. And I will do the pink for her shirt. These can go away. And this, and this, and this, and these, this, and that can go there. And she's just going to have jeans on, so I'm going to pick out my favorite jean colors. Jeans pink. I'll do a light brown hair, maybe with some blonde-ish highlights. There's really not a lot of hair there, so stick with these two. I need flesh colors for her skin. Again, it's not so big, but I want to be able to see some kind of difference. So I put my markers way in the wrong place and forgot my knife. All right. Okay. Headband will be the same as the shirt. Shoes will be same as the shirt. Same as the shirt. I think that's good. And then we need a brown. We need some grays for the top. We're going to go really light and just 2 colors because it's not that big. And then we need, what else do we need? the cup. And I think I'm just going to go with a different brown. And that way I'm not doing any kind of like, not stealing from a certain company or anything. Just making a brown coffee cup. And I think that's good. Brown there for the cup, red for that. Brown, pink, pink, blue, probably pink. And yeah. All right. So I'm going to start off with the darker gray. And because it's curved, I'm just going to lightly add some shadows up at the top and then blend them out with the lighter gray. Extend them a little bit. So it looks like it has, it's curved because it is. I'm going to do my best to do messy coloring for this too. Not messy, fast. And then, let's see. This is going to be curved as well, but I don't want the darkest to be right to the edge. But it would be dark underneath where she's holding it. I'm just going to come out slowly. So that's the shadow, and then there will be another shadow here. And then I think I'm actually going to do a little bit of a shadow here. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I can just start with the line here. And I think I will have another small shadow here. And shadow underneath her hand. Like that. I think I'm going to switch the highlight out for this one though, because I do want it to be a little bit lighter. So I'm going to go with just a slightly lighter color. I'm going to have a harder time blending it, I think. But I think it would be worth it. I think there'll be more of a highlight. Go over this tiny shadow, not a lot. I don't want it to go out too much further than it is. And I will continue this mid color underneath. And I'm not going to put a highlight on this side because you wouldn't be able to see it anyway. But I am going to blend the shadow and I'm going to extend it up here. Like that. Okay, this isn't fast coloring, this is more detailed coloring, but it's a small space, so you have to cut me some slack. And then this lighter color is going to go all along the side here and the top, the side here, the bottom, and then it's going to blend in here. And as I suspected, I am having a harder time blending, but that's okay. You get it to work. So do the same on the other side. This is going all the way across. This is going to be filled in. Make sure to hit that shadow area a little bit. And blend. Or really in this case, just add the highlight up at the top, bottom, sides, and then blend the center. Actually took out more, but there wasn't as much room, so I'm going to go back in with this one and just add a little bit more and then blend that other edge. So it adds more of the mid-tone color. Yeah, like that. I don't know what I'm going to do with the center. I don't know. I'll figure that out after. So that's that. Now do the jeans, and these are very small, but they're still going to have shadow where stuff is over them and where stuff is behind. And I do like to do the bottom too, just to add in some different color. And these are really small, so I'm not going to go too much with the, I have 4 colors to use. I'm going to use the second darkest to kind of add in the shape. So I'm going to blend out the darkest, and then I'm going to come down here because legs aren't flat, right? They're curved. And curved things give off different shapes. It's not just like a top and a bottom. You have 2 sides. Sorry. So, and then normally the knee is a little bit lighter too, so it's so small though, you just have to kind of squeeze in what you can. And that probably doesn't look like much at all, but it is okay. So then I'm going to blend out that second color, and this is where really this is going to be like the main base color, or what I would call the mid-tone. What the real color of the fabric would be. I've just left a lighter place there for where a knee would be. I'm going to go over the whole thing with blue, the lightest blue. And because it's so small, I don't have to spend a lot of time blending, because it's just going to reinforce the shape. And give the idea of jeans, which is what we want. All right, pink. Did like this pink, but do I want to go a little darker? I don't really have the room for it, actually. So, no, I'm not going to go darker. And the darkest parts are going to be the shadow. And where things cross. And again, it's so small, so it just is what it is. But I am going to color that piece in there. I was going to do the shoes too, wasn't I? We'll see how that looks after. Blending out that darker color, and because it's so small, there's only so much blending you can do. Really, you just want to have contrast between your light and your dark. So and might as well do the shoes. The dark would be at the bottom because they're at the ground. All right, browns. This one is the cup. This one is hair and skin. So I'm going to do skin first. There's not going to be much of shadow, but I'm going to do what I can because it's still better than having just a flat color. So that one, and then blend out with this lighter color. And on these really tiny spaces, you're not going to get much at all. But as I said, better than a flat color. And then highlight. Okay, and then for the hair, leave a little space for highlights. Oop, I forgot to color her chest. Okay. And I was going to use the same color that I used for the shadow on here, but I actually think I'm going to go to a light yellow. No. Yeah. Yeah. Highlights. I think these two little things down here are earrings, so I'm going to color them pink. And now, just the cups. What are we doing for time? Look at how good we're doing for time. Oh my gosh. I'm going to use the same thing here, except this lid is covering, so it's not going to have a highlight at the top. And then everywhere she is, it will, the shadow will be right next to it. And I have more space here, so I'm going to have more shadow. I don't have to worry about the thing in the center. So underneath here, shadow, Koozie sitting on top, shadow there, and then my lines. Same with the other side. The bottom is going to be really tight. So just do that, and then line everywhere where she is. The shadow will be coming from that area underneath the lid. So really you only have a 3D highlight there. And then blend them out. And then the lightest color. We'll go over everything. I don't want to blend where this like side is. I'm not blending, I'm just adding it in so you can tell it's a 3D or a round object. Here where the colors meet, I will blend. So here, no blend. Here, no blend. Here, blend. No blend. No blend at the bottom. No blend at the side. Blend. I think actually I'm just going to leave those white because that's it. And there we go. There's a card. We need to catch up on a latte. Because everything is so small, you just can't add the same kind of detail, but you can add some. So there we go. We did get a lot done today. A lot. These two. One of these, but I'll use all the same colors on the other ones. And then these two. That's not too bad for 3 hours. And that is when I am going to take my leave. I'm going to call this done. I'll probably mount them. Maybe I'll mount them tomorrow. I'll save them. I might even save this coloring for tomorrow as well. I'm probably going to start around this time tomorrow, but if I know for sure when, I'll put it up on the schedule. And that's it. We'll finish these, mount them, and then we have some more to do as well. I think I need some birthday cards. And this little cutie, she can definitely be a birthday card. This one can be a birthday card. And I don't know, I'll figure something out. Probably just make a couple each of these, and again, really quick coloring, nothing super detailed, and we'll take it from there. So thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.